Everybody. In this video, we are talking about using variables in Java, especially what they are, how to declare and initialize them, and why understanding data types is super important, especially for beginners. So variables are one of the first building blocks you will need to write real programs with. A variable is like a labeled box in your computer's memory that stores a value, like for example, a number, like the integer values, float values, some text as a string, some chars like single letters, or boolean values, which only allows two possible values. So in that case, we talk about true or false. So each variable has a data type which is declared in the beginning, like string, float, char, boolean, and the name part, which is basically in our case the name, age, the height, name initial, is student. So these are the names, and these both, like the data type and then variable name, is the so-called declaration. If you assign a value to that declaration, we are talking from initializing. In our case, this would be then, for example, that string over here, the 20 for the age, height, name initial like I, and false. So these are initializing the variables, or just summarized, declaring and initializing. That means you can also only declare a variable without initializing it for later usage. In that case, this value would be null because it has no initialized value. So probably in the future you will hear that Java is a strongly typed language, which means you have to tell it exactly what kind of data type you're working with, because this helps at catching mistakes early, use memory efficiently, and make your code easier to understand. So if you want to store a number, use integer. For text, use string. Each type has its own purpose. So now let's make some practical examples. Let's say we need a number. In that case, we need an integer data type, and say the variable is score equals to 100. So we basically declared a variable score with the integer value and initialized it with 100. So in summarize, we did declaring and initializing at once. We could also say, okay, let's say integer score semicolon, close the statement, and later we could then just initialize a value. This is also possible. Now you could say, okay, score, or the number which you initialized, I want to print that in the console. Let's say replace 4 multiplied by 4 and maybe change the string here. Say the score is plus score, which is concatenated together. And if you execute that, you will see the result in the left bottom corner. The score is 100. And one of the main reasons why we use variables is basically they can change, right? So you could also say in the future in your program that the score is not 100 anymore, it's just 50. And if you execute that, you will see that the value changed. So which gets then printed at the left bottom corner. The score is 15. Maybe a bit advanced stuff. Let's say we are initializing the value at the beginning with 100 and say final at the declaration. And if we execute that, as you can see beforehand, the score is 100, right? But now, if we declare the variable with final, and if we try to change the score, the IDE complains or highlights that the variable cannot assign a value to final variable. So it's basically not mutable. And also if you want to use the IDE's hint to make it not final, then it basically can be mutable. Ta-da! So I guess you understand how to declare and initialize variables, or at least how to store data in them. That every variable needs a type, that variables can change unless you use final. So you should basically choose the right data type to program your application. So if you enjoyed this video or learned something new as a beginner, give a thumbs up, subscribe if you're watching it in YouTube, and hit the bell maybe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching and happy coding, stay healthy, and goodbye.